Hey guys, 3D Print Explorer back with a brand new video. So if you have an A1 combo from BambuLab, you know that it takes up quite a bit of space with the AMS Lite on the side. Now, if you're looking to save some space, then this video is for you. I'm gonna show you how to 3D print and install the top mount kit for the A1 combo and save about a foot of space. So if you go to makerworld.com and you search for AMS Lite top mount for A1, you're going to see a bunch of different variations in here, and the one that I'm using in this video is the one from BambuLab. So if we go ahead and click on this, you'll see we have the print profiles for basically all of their printers, and it has all of the different pieces in here. Now if you bought the A1 combo, it actually already comes with all of the hardware to install this mount on your printer. All right, so your first step is to remove all of your filaments from the AMS. That's just gonna make it lighter and easier to work with. All right, once you have all of your filament spools unloaded, if you still have your original kit that came with the A1, chances are it has the hardware that you need to be able to mount all the pieces that you 3D print to support the AMS mod for mounting on the top. So one of the first steps would be to disconnect all of your Bowden tubes. And that's just a matter of pressing down on the black plastic piece here and pulling the Bowden tube right out. I find it easy to just put your hand on it and press with your thumb and index finger, and that'll take it right out. And then we're gonna disconnect the AMS Lite cord from the back of the printer. Okay, so we're gonna remove the screws on either side here. Okay, that side's disconnected. Let's get this side disconnected. This is the kit that I printed for the top mount, and this is from MakerWorld. Now, the first step after you print this model, these two little round circled pieces here, they actually fit directly into the base. So that's one of the easiest steps. We'll do that first. The next step is we have the screws for the top mount latch. We'll need 2 of those, and those are gonna go through here on this piece here. And what we'll do is we'll put our latch into place here like this, and then we can screw these in. And I printed this out of the PETG HF from BambuLabs. This is the high flow PETG. I printed it in white. You can print it in any color you want, but I do recommend to print it in PETG because it is stronger than PLA, and you run less of risk of this actually breaking while sitting on top of your printer. Okay, we have our 2 screws in our latch assembly here. Our next step is to mount the mounting clamp to the AMS Lite. We're going to use 4 screws for that also. So before we go to mount that to the printer, we have to put our stiffener brackets in place. All right, our next step is to take these and mount these on. So these just slide over. You'll notice there's a flat side. That's the inside here. So we're gonna slide this over. Once we get it on, we can turn it. And then slide it down all the way. We'll do the same thing for the opposite side. Okay, we'll slide that down all the way. Now you'll notice there's 4 screw holes on the back here. That is where these right here are gonna mount into. Now these 4 here, there's 2 on this side, 2 on this side, those actually go to the clamps that we just installed. So all you have to do to mount this in place is take the body of the printer, that's gonna slide into this channel here, like this. You may have to spread this clamp apart a little bit to get it to fit in. And then we just slide it in all the way like that. It's super simple. If you had the screws in your kit, these are called force stiffener. These are the ones that actually are gonna go into the uprights of the printer because these are machine screws. They don't have a coarse thread like these. These are the ones that actually go into the plastic. So the 4 on either side of the clamps here, that's what these coarse thread screws are for. Don't use the coarse thread screws on the metal. Put the machine screws in first. All right, now once you get both of the machine screws in, we need to put in the screws for that clamp that we put around the outside. Now there's 2 on the inside and there's 2 on the outside, and that's gonna be that coarse threaded screw. Now we'll put in the outside screws. And then we're just gonna simply repeat the same exact process for the right side. And what that's gonna do now is that it's going to provide support for this upright. When we put the extra weight of the AMS on here, it's gonna keep that from tilting backwards. All right, now we wanna mount our top clamp on before we can mount the actual AMS Lite on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure this peg right here is facing up. We're gonna slip this over the top of the printer on the front first, slip it over the back, make sure it's about in the middle, and then we just clip it in place. Now we can take our AMS unit, put this on top, turn it to the side like this. All right, and then to lock this top part in place here, we have these two pieces here. This just slides down inside of here, and then we put our thumb screw in. Okay, and then last but not least, these parts here. Hopefully you printed them with the coloring in here. So you'll see 3 and 4. These will actually fit on here. So you wanna make sure the 3 is lined up over where the Bowden tube goes into number 3. Same thing with 4. And we'll do the same thing with 1 and 2. Fit those there. And these are just extra supports for the Bowden tubes. All right, and then we're just gonna reinsert our Bowden tubes back into the AMS feed section here. So you'll notice you have 2 longer ones, 2 shorter ones. The shorter ones I would recommend putting to the front. But to reattach the Bowden tubes, it's just a matter of basically sliding it through the support, pushing it back into each of the feeders. And then the 2 longer ones, obviously, will go to the back. And then before you go to start your printer up, make sure to reconnect your AMS connector on the back side. Now, as you can see, we have a whole lot of space in between these 2 printers for an extra printer now. Now let's check out the top mount with some spools mounted in place. If you're finding that you have a hard time getting to the back and loading the spools in the back, all you have to do is remove that thumb screw that we installed, lift this little locking piece out right here, and then you could spin this right to the side here, and it gives you easier access to be able to load your filament. And then once you're done, you just put that locking piece right back in, reattach your thumb screw, and you're good to go. So that wraps it up for this video. You can save a ton of space just by printing that top mount from Maker World. If you like this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for some future videos. See you in the next one.